Going live early. If you're watching the recording, I would skip ahead a couple minutes because we're going to do the weird thing right now, which is going live with nobody here. But I think if I just stare into the camera as somebody comes in, it wouldn't be awkward at all. So we're getting set to do a little webinar today, kind of a spontaneous one. A little brief bit about AI and where its involvement in LinkedIn and how I think you should use LinkedIn to better your relationships and subsequently your business without it. So instead of me just complaining like I usually do about things like that, I'm going to give you the thought process and ideas behind what the why I do it and the way I do it. So hello everybody, I'm just seeing people on here now. I see there's Karen, good to see you. Thank you. Dawn as well. Nice. Thank you. The first two faces I see are friendly, which is great. I assume they're all friendly for the most part, but who knows. You might have the AI fair, and this is like, so one of the things about live, and like one of the reasons I do this, I'm doing this live instead of scheduling a webinar and it's all going on to Zoom and then being in that type of room here, is I'm also testing stuff. You know, one of the things that I'm looking at and wanting to do as well is also doing more stuff from here and less travel. So the more I can test it on here, the better, which is great. And so, yeah, look at this. From YouTube, Timothy says here, I thought this was at least the Jackass AI agent for us all to use. Yeah, we're gonna we'll send Jack the donkey over for you. Okay, so we're gonna get started in a second. Don't worry, I'm not gonna keep just doing the banter for too long. I'm not gonna sit there and say I'll wait for more people to come in, because also I don't know how many people are in here. And I'm not looking at it because it doesn't matter. I'm happy that there's 2 people in here, and when you can stay and when you can go is amazing. Amazing to have you, Christina, and thank you. And Jackie, yo! My oldest connections on the internet is here. So I don't mean oldest is your age. I'm so sorry. I meant it goes far back, our relationship. I gotta watch what I say that. All right, I'm gonna kick it in. If I can work your guys' comments into stuff and stuff, I will. This is live. Unless you're watching it afterwards, then it's recorded. One of the funny things about doing a live and then the recording staying is I'll have people watch the live the day after or so, and they'll comment as if I'm still live. So sometimes I don't want to explain it to them, but I'll pop in and still answer the question and not bring it up that I wasn't actually live and wasn't there. And so I'm sorry, Don. No, this was not the Black Sabbath final show. Also, amazing moment in concert, but also that was, I think, Sabbath's 7th final tour and show. So it was amazing. And hold on to your horses. What's up, baby? She's here now. I can go. I can talk. We can good to go now that Allison's here. All right. Love you, sugar. All right, let's go. So let's start this and professional. Let's talk first about AI. I'm not going to get into a whole bunch about AI. I'm not going to get into most of it. I'm going to keep today talking about how LinkedIn can go better for you individually as a human. I'm not here to talk to brands. I'm not here to talk to corporations, and nor is that the reason I'm ever on social media. I'm here to talk to people. You might be at a brand, which is fine. Great. But the thing is, you might change that brand. You might go, I talk to individuals. Unmarketing talks to individuals. Unmarketing, the original book was written for individuals. It caught on corporately, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but it's all for individuals. And one of the things about AI is it takes the individuality out and makes it all, gray. I'm not going to talk about the ethics of AI today. I'm not going to talk about the environmental impacts of AI today. I'm not going to talk about the 100 stories I have in my folder right now about how AI is messing things up because we're messing things up. What I'm specifically going to talk to you about today is AI on LinkedIn, on a platform where we build relationships. And also, you put your stuff out there. There's two things happening. We're supposed to be connecting, and we're supposed to be almost promoting by creating our own content and putting things out there. And one of the things that got me about AI, it happened yesterday, and Allison and I were talking about it with a good friend of ours. It's happened multiple times. I'm going to give you an example. Mark Horvath is a friend of ours, and he runs Invisible People. He's sometimes here, and if you see this, Mark, hi. He's a wonderful human being, and he's been advocating for the homeless for 30 years, and it was their 30-year anniversary. And I shared a post. I shared his post and added my own comments to the top of what an amazing human Mark is and his cause. And I got wonderful comments and nice comments from people like yourselves. And some of you may have seen the post. Excuse me. And then I got a comment, and it seemed a little too polished. And actually, it was almost irrelevant to the post. It was a very businessy. They took they said his leadership skills show strong, and with the strategic implementation of blah, 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 blah. And it really had nothing really to do with the post. It took up some buzzwords and said this should be the comment. So I reached out to the guy, and I privately messaged him because I'm getting older, and I'm trying to be classy and not always do it publicly. And I sent him the message. And I said, hey, man, is that AI commenting for you? And he's like, yep, what do you think? I don't really want to say the words I used right now, but he can go to hell. You can't outsource your emotions to AI. Using AI to comment on somebody's posts or message them, or to congratulate them, even if it's the congratulations. Remember back in the day when I used to be on Facebook and birthdays and all this stuff, and it's like, oh my goodness, there's so many birthdays, and you only knew somebody's birthday was there because Facebook told you or whatever. If you've ever worked for a corporation and gotten a corporate card, birthday card, congratulations, whatever that is, and it's stamped with the CEO or the president's or Grand Poobah's name, and it's stamped with their signature. It's all a photocopy. It's a Carlton card. How do you feel? Sure, the sentiment is in there. The words are kind. Most Carlton cards and other cards and greeting cards are. But you know he or she or they didn't write it. It's a waste of paper. You commenting and messaging on LinkedIn and AI is a waste of time, mostly mine and ours, receiving it. It's exactly that. It's so disingenuous. Thank you. That's what it feels like. You don't get a second chance to make that first impression, that line. Integrity is not a renewable resource. You don't get to re-up every month and try again. Once somebody knows, look, think about this. I don't know about you all, but when I see a post and I then see through the channels of everything that this person that uses AI for anything, for photo generation on LinkedIn, for writing, whatever that is, every time I see him post afterwards, I just wonder, did AI write this? Did AI write this? And I also see people using it to help them write posts. And I get this. And I'm not commenting on AI helping people when it comes to inclusion. I'm not talking about AI that helps somebody just get up to the plate to take a swing. I'm talking about people using AI because they just can't be bothered to build relationships or content themselves. They can't be bothered with this whole social part of social media. Get to the point, every week we started getting inquiries about the Unpodcast and having a guest on our show. Fun fact, we don't have guests. And you'd know that if you just looked at the form when people would fill in to contact us. This AI platform, I've already gone off the rails, by the way. This AI platform sells itself, and it's on here, it's on LinkedIn, it's all over the place. And it sells itself as an AI podcast guest booking service. Let AI do it for you. This service takes AI, listens to a bunch of shows, writes an email from you, and sends it. Set it and forget it. We receive those emails. And it makes it sound like they really loved the show. They never listen to it. That's not being scalable. That's not showing initiative and being cutting edge. That's being an asshole. You're manipulating people so you could go on their podcast that you've never listened to. Do you want to get on a podcast? Listen to the podcast. Do you have something value to add for it? Then look at that. I despise this manipulation of emotions. For the sake of what? Of what? I saw somebody write a post 2 days ago. Some of you in here right now have commented or liked it. Somebody posted about doorman. Like in New York, and they hold the door open and they could be replaced because of automated doors, but that doorman just changes things. Not only that, they actually do a bunch of other stuff too. You don't even realize it. And the photo he used was AI of a doorman. Ugh. What are we doing? What are we doing? Then I think, did he write that with AI? And if you don't, and if you let AI do the things for you, you lose the rep. Do you know how I got better at this? I did this over and over and over and over again. Do you know how I got good at writing tweets? I wrote 110,000 of them. You don't remember what AI writes for you. You don't remember what AI jots down for you. In note-taking, Otter AI, one of the earliest things I've noticed from AI back in the old Zoom days, like 3 years ago. I used to be a college professor. When you have an AI note taker, you lose the entire point almost of taking notes. Yes, you have a record of them, but when you pull that information in, psychologists say when you then write it out onto paper, that's the best, is onto paper, and then, or you can type it, you retain it better. It's adult learning principles. AI is not going to, it is making us dumber and slower and less initiative on these things. I promised. I said I wasn't going to go off. I said I wasn't going to do this. Whew. Okay. I'm fine. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to calm down, and we're going to move on, and let's talk about how to use LinkedIn without AI. From somebody who's been on LinkedIn for a long time. Both, yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm going to hop into some slides here. So this world here is I'm going to explain to you how using LinkedIn works well for me and many people. And my only problem with this is that I also hate talking about building relationships. Because building relationships is not a tactic. It's not a strategy. Right? It should be building it's connecting with each other. I don't want to have to do the graph that says if you build this many relationships, you'll make this much. I believe in it. I believe in 20 years ago, I believe in the fact that if you connect people with each other, great things happen. I need an accountant. I know a great one. I need somebody to shovel the driveway here. I know somebody can do it. That's what I want. That's what we talk about. So I'm going to bring you in. Let me give you some preface here of how this stands, okay? Of why I aim here, and the preface of the entire structure of Unmarketing, okay? Because this is what we believe. That we're all the brand. I don't care if it's a big company or a solopreneur. You should have this up at your office. Not this necessarily. It's creepy. It's Slenderman-y, but you know what I'm saying. So when you get to this point, this is what I want you to see. If you are your authentic self, you have no competition, right? None whatsoever. I'm going to just move my screen around here. Sorry. None. And that's the point. When Unmarketing came out, and it was out on Kindle and still is, the number one highlighted phrase is this, from all the readers. The number one thing. People sometimes feel they need permission. or they need to be told that they can do this or they can't do this. You're not going to receive something in the mail or certificate that says you can start talking about this or be an expert. I talk about being an expert in something, not the expert. I think an expert is inclusive. The expert is exclusive. I don't think I'm the expert in anything. I think I am an expert in a few things, but not the expert. Maybe speaking with a beard and a man bun. I don't know, but I haven't looked at the whole roster of people. So let's talk about this. The whole point when it talks about business, why people buy. Now, this was done with B2B, so services. So if you're watching right now and you're an accountant or you're a consultant or a coach or any of this type of thing, this is a B2B type of thing. But again, it's applicable to pretty much most things, okay? When we buy, okay, we look at something. The bottom, okay, the width of the section is how much competition you have. The higher up the pyramid you go, the better trust you have. And the higher up you go, the better relationship you have. So as you follow this up, okay, we're going to go up this whole thing. The bottom of the pyramid, the last reason usually somebody's going to buy is a cold call, especially today. We did this survey for 20 years ago, and I don't think this has gotten any better. It's the last reason you have the most competition, the least trust, and the least relationship, which also means the highest price sensitivity, which is the only thing a lot of times you can lead with. We call this the survival of the slickest, right? You're just trying to fool people, get in their inbox. You do misleading subject lines and emails. You try to request a connection request on LinkedIn and saying, I love your business. I'd love to learn more. And as soon as I accept it, you spam me, right? The next one is search, okay? Whether that's going to be search on Google or whatever, or I'm using AI at this point or whatever, right? Is searching for it. There's an intent to go find somebody or something, a company that provides the service I'm looking for. Okay. Search at this point is way above my pay grade. Okay. The past decade or so of SEO is there's so much information. It's so technical in a lot of things that I'd let the professionals do that. Like 20 years ago, okay, I was going to say I'd do it, but maybe somebody would stuff a bunch of keywords into the bottom of your HTML and put white text on a white background, do some meta tags, right? So SEO in these days is crazy hard. You have to stay up on this. Plus, I don't even know what's happening now with SEO. It's so much and so crazy. But also, it doesn't mean you don't benefit from these things from creating the content. Okay, recognize expert. That's where we want to start. We want to start eventually saying, if I think about this, this is the person I think about. Like, this is where we want to go with those type of things, okay? So when you have this, sorry, it's great. I want to see Shannon's comment here before we keep going. It's a good one. Shannon says, this is 1,000% true. You literally kicked off my career in 2006 when I did a quick turn dictation project for you, and you tweeted about me to your followers. Hey, what's up, Shannon? My goodness, that's been a while. Oh, I'm so glad. But here, 20 years ago, right? This is where those relationships come in. And that's really kind of that point. And yep, me too. Just turned the big 5-0. Good time. So this is where I want to start. So I'm thinking, if you are, especially if you run the show, or you're your own office and your own person and your own assistant and social media person and everything else, this is where you want to start your efforts. Okay, this is where you want to start putting the time into. Okay, this is where we start on marketing. This is our point. Also, if you're wondering what my shirt says, it says Canadian is not a genre. It's just a funny thing with Canadian music. And our oldest works at Dynalone Records. Anyway, sorry, I'm distracted. Squirrel, I literally saw my shirt in the video. I'm like, I should explain it. Anyway, here we go. Next is relationships. So if I already know a leadership coach, and I know them, and I and I like the person, right? I don't need to go searching for that person if I already know them. I'm going to try it out because I already have that wall broken down for them. That's where I want to build a relationship, or the referral. That's the referral zone where things really start. Building those relationships virtually is about investing your social currency. Okay, your social, it's your time, it's your comments, it's amplifying other people, it's sharing their stuff, it's conversation. The more you put in, the more possibly you can take out. And where the biggest downfall is, and Allison says this all the time, is when people complain that people aren't, engaging with their posts. She just says simply, do you do it for others? Right? It's not just applicable to LinkedIn, or you're not getting enough likes on Instagram. How often are you going around other businesses? Not friends or just like personal posts. If you don't like your business stuff not getting shared, are you doing the same thing? I tweeted 25,000 times in 2010, in 2009, 2010, before I ever pitched anything, before I ever tried to sell anything, because I wanted to find my people. And I did. And I found my wife. So, yay for me. The next is a referral, obviously. If you don't have a relationship with the professional, the referral comes in as well. Because also, here's the one thing. You might know somebody. It doesn't mean you're going to give them business if you don't like them. So that also can go over it. And this is a point too. And Karen, I know it makes me look good, but this is not the point. I really want to use it as an example. Thank you, Karen, but not randomly or constantly. The thing I appreciate about your reposts and shares is that you do it with consideration and thought and intention, not as a reflex to everything. That's the point. This is the point. There's groups of people who get together and there's 5, 10, 50, 100 people, and they're like pods, they're hubs. It used to be really popular back in the day. And you'd reshare, like, and post and comment on each other's stuff, like in a mandatory way. It's one of the reasons why I never liked BNI, the Business Network International type of stuff, where you had to bring referrals to it. Referrals are natural to me. Commenting should be natural on LinkedIn, right? When something evokes emotion from me, I want to be able to support that. I've shifted in the past few years to more, kind of amplifying other people than my own stuff a lot. And exactly, aren't we all one of the 7? So good to see you. Good to see you, Mike. What's up, brother? So let's go back into the slides. I'm almost sticking to it. I'm almost staying on topic. Woo! So let's go. Let's keep on going. Let me get a sip of this cold coffee first. Did I have to do it in front of the mic? No, I didn't. I really didn't. And the top reason why somebody uses your business is because they're already a customer and they're happy. Obviously. Now you look at this and say, yeah, well, obviously, Scott, but when we're doing things, are we taking our time to match this? Where are we going for this? And if you believe business is built on relationships, building them your business. Seriously. This is what 20 years now talking about this thing and doing this type of stuff. It's about connecting with the right people, and the right people mean the people you want to connect with. You don't have to connect with everybody. You can't connect with everybody, but you can find your people too. Exactly. Oh yeah. Don't see. I'm trying to focus, and Karen just brought up success programs and self-published book programs. I see. That's a whole another webinar. It's a whole the anthologies and whole other thing. And that's what it is. The comment cliques. Julie, you nailed it. It's these hubs, and we're like, this is what you do. No, it's not. It's not what you do. You comment, you emote, you share things that evoke something from you. Not obligation. Nothing in social should be obligation. This quid pro quo stuff this joint venture type of stuff doesn't make any sense a lot of times. Let me show you an example of survival of the slickest, okay? Here's an example right here. I don't know why people still message me. Excuse me. Hi, Scott. I like the image of a Marketing Inc. Interesting concept. I thought we would benefit from being connected and exchanging thoughts on this. Obviously, all of you here are adults. You understand. You've been online. You know what's coming next. You know what's coming next, right? Because he says here, I'm interested in your stuff. And I'm like, cool, let me connect with you. And then everything in orange is about what he's selling. And then reply back yes with the number. Oh, sorry, hang on a second. Yeah, it's just all. So what part of my business are you interested in at all? What part of me are you interested in all? I don't understand why lying's cool. Like, we're just good with it. Right? Like, people say it all the time. Sam talking about it. There's Kyle's talking about it as well. Like, people are pleading. We're pleading. We are pleading for human connection. We are pleading for people just to be normal and human to each other. Not about strategy. Not about always doing this. This example here is one of the examples I used in a bunch of talks. Forrester Research came out with something that's talking about how B2B buying decisions are, and that 60% of buying decisions in a B2B setting are made before even reaching out to the vendor, making contact. That has gone up since me talking about this stuff. So one of the reasons why I say this is, well, then how do you find them? You go to the Sales Cloud. You go out there. It's LinkedIn, it's videos, it's conferences, it's talks, it's your blog on your website. Yes, they're still around. Yes, they still work. If anybody is telling you a marketing method doesn't work, they're usually selling the alternative. I'm going to make this very clear. Every marketing and sales method works. That's the whole sentence. Every one of them work. It's just the percentages that shift. Smart, targeted marketing, authentic, almost works every time. But we don't always look at that stuff. Conversation is not a campaign. For me, talking to people isn't a 30-day trial, and let's look at the analytics. It's the conversations that we connect with. It's the people we connect with. Being the catalyst for your community's conversation is huge. That whatever that community is, it can be based on your industry or your role or your demographic or whatever that is. There's communities, big and small, not only out there, but growing and shrinking and forming. That's communities. They can always go up and down and around. Is there not a community for what you're looking for? You can start. But one of my favorite things about this is what Chris Brogan said, and it never left me. Chris said this at like a Disney social media moms event. It was called a social media moms event. And Chris said this on stage. It was Chris and Kathy Ireland, I believe, was the lineup. The difference between an audience and a community is the way the chairs are facing. Yes. Yes. And I have to bring this up again. There's so many people out there right now saying, you're not good enough. But if you let AI do some stuff for you, you'll be okay. You're not good enough. But if you take my course on video or speaking or whatever this is, you'll be good enough. You're good enough now. You're good enough to be posting on LinkedIn now. I don't want polish. I don't want things that change my brain because they're so incredibly eye-opening. I just want humans. I just want to talk. It's a place, we have a place that's been around for 20 plus years that they finally put the social aspect around it. We can talk about business. We can talk about the life of business. We can talk about us because business is personal. Every day, every time for me. I can send you the certificate if you want, right? That will be your expertise certificate. But let's keep going, okay? Let's talk about then what we're doing in AI. Let me catch up with some little comments here if I can. And Julie says, I love those. Me too. If I had the photos here, I'd bring it up right now. But that was a run. Can we just pause for a second? That 2010, 2011, 2012 run of a group and Twitter was just, mwah. Oh my goodness. It was just like, you go to Vegas and you could check in at the Palms and they check your clout score, clout with a K. and they'd upgrade your room based on your Twitter score. I got a penthouse at Tropicana for a week. We got Disney. I got a Disney. It was crazy. I had Magnum ice cream come and paid 25 grand to eat ice cream and then go to an ice cream party. It was bananas back then. It was absolutely crazy. And oh my God, but if there's a 30-day trial for talking to people, we should be able to do that, right? Like it's like a subscription service. Almost like it's like, hey, there's 3 days left to go until it renews. You're like, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. I'm out. I don't need it. I don't need it. Yes, exactly. So, yeah. Timothy says, what was it used to say? You don't have to be perfect because most others suck. So the bar is so low. Let's getting started. You'll get better over time. Yeah. I used to say on stage, I'm like, the bar to be funny in a business talk is so low. It's just like literally it's buried in the ground. I don't have to lift my foot sometimes with that. And exactly that. Look, the hardest thing a lot of the times is I'm glad, Shannon. Right? Oh yeah. Not only that, we got, so they put us on the media cruise for the Dream, which was like a 2-night thing, and then we went on 7 more. Full fee, by the way. There was no discount on those other 7, but it was, yeah, turned us into that. Yes, I did. I did wear that back then. I have that photo somewhere here too. It's glorious. But actually, I have a social media shirt coming up, Jason. Also, good to see you, Jason. So let's go to that. Let's go back into this here, and we'll keep. I'm trying to stay focused. I'm trying. Allison, if you're watching, I'm like, you know what? Like, it's pretty decent, right? Like, I'm almost staying on. Like, I'm almost staying on topic. Okay. Let's talk about your photo on LinkedIn. This is the most professional photo I have. This was the photo taken of me, which is just literally down the street from here, at my college, at Sheridan College, for their Hall of Fame photo. By the way, my GPA was like, it's measured in decimals. I'm not there for my academic ability. I believe it's just so they can ask alumni for money. Also, unmarketing was never on the shelf. That's actually, we just put unmarketing in front of Lady Gaga's book at the time. So there we go. Just hang on a second. Thank you, baby. So, yes, this is me. And that suit, by the way, I walked into Hugo Boss. I walked into Hugo Boss at Square One or Sherway Mall and said, give me the hangover. Right? Give me the Bradley Cooper hangover suit. That's what we got. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is exactly. This is the you could see the connectors on the facial hair, eh? Not connecting at all. But this is part of the point. Also, this is why I hate it when events does Google an image instead of use the images we provide. Because if I show up at a talk, here, I'll show you. This is a Google image that was used last year for a keynote I gave at a conference. I walked into the conference and this was on the poster. What? Now, I love that shot. That was my original headshot I used, taken by Couchsurfing Ori, an old friend of mine. This was done at an event in Washington, where we met 2 of our favorite people on this planet, Andrew and Alicia Hansen. And I love the shot. I love the candid. I think I love candid shots for a lot of stuff. And it does show off the dimple. But yeah, it ain't me. It ain't me. So now this is one of the ones we use. And this is Steph, who's our favorite humans on the planet as well. This was taken in Vegas on Fremont Street in one of the side roads. It didn't smell great. And then here's the fun one. This is Richard Johnson, who's also in here on LinkedIn. I'm not sure if he's on here right now. Love Richard, love Steph, love Ori, all of them. And these were shots that Richard was the 40-year-old version. And he said, you want to recreate the poster? I'm like, let's do it. And that's what we came up with. And I just think that you look all of these things here and, Episec, you know, you're my favorite human, right? Shout out to Nepal. Good. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. So one of the reasons I show this as well to you is that working with people that we love is the best thing ever. And sometimes you find reasons to work with them. And, we want to do a photo shoot with Steph because we want to work with, same with Richard. People are just using AI to create their photos now. And it's a shame. It's just a shame. Oh, don't do that, Scott. Don't hit the wrong button, because what are you doing? You had it. You're doing well. Just keep going, Scott. Like a half hour to go. You'll be fine. All right. So those are some of the shots here. Let me show you the shirt. Jason, this is for you. So let me talk about sharing something, because if you're not giving credit, you're taking it. Okay. Here's a shirt that I wore at South by back in the day. I think it's 2011, 2012. It says, "I'm kind of a big deal on a fairly irrelevant social media site that falsely inflates my ego." Now, it got shared like this. And I'm like, that's me. I recognize those nipples anywhere. And somebody cut my face off from it and just shared the shirt. And then it went viral. You're like, what? And I think of, like, MySpace Tom shared it. And it was just my chest. Right? It was just crazy. I see, it was like, I almost like I knew you were going to come in here and talk about the shirt or something, right? It's just exactly that. But here's the thing. And then it's just like, oh, look. And then it just got ripped off. Just like, and when they shared this, there was no credit, there's no tag, nothing for this type of stuff. Nothing. Same with, I'm kind of a big deal on Twitter as well, shirt. My banned Candy Crush invites protest photo. Same thing, goes viral without credit, those type of stuff. It's just, it goes crazy sometimes like that. And it's just like, what do you do? So here, let me give you another example, okay? Here's something that was being shared around a while ago, and I'm going to break it down for you, okay? So let me show you here on this next thing. So here's an example, okay? Now, obviously, you can see why it's shared, right? How we're taught about measure success, salary, job, but it's actually all these other things. It's a better measure, right? This itself goes viral. I saw it going around on LinkedIn and on Instagram, just like this. This is the original. This is the original graphic. Somebody's just like, I'll just cut off credit. If you don't give credit, you're taking it. You don't take credit from Liz and Molly. They're the best. They're the best. And what happens if you see this graphic with no credit, okay, and want to find out who made it? Do a reverse image search. Do something like that and go back and find it. And you'll find the person, most likely. Or at least you'll find one of the original postings if you want to. Right? And here's the result. It shows you, as you can see, if you look closely, the top result doesn't have the credit and the bottom ones do. You can see it's a wider graphic. This is the point. And it's exactly, and Laura's saying it right here. Exactly that. AI internet removing credit where credit is actually due. 100 frickin' percent. 100%. Okay? We need art. We need artists who create that art. It's one of the reasons why I get furious with how quickly people jump on AI. It's just, anyway, again, keep moving, Scott. Keep moving. You'll be fine. Here's an example as well. Don't be first to post something. Be right first. Okay? It's different. This went popular with a lot of bros. Okay? They're like, hey, here's an example of the pack. You see the front wolves up there. They're the seniors and the older ones and the younger ones and this and whatever the description was, that whatever leader that you don't like at your company or you've dealt with in the past, and they put this up. They're the type of person that puts up the motivational poster about drive and stuff sometimes. When actually, if you go to Snopes, you'll find out all of it's debunked. It is the opposite. There is no such thing as an alpha in the animal kingdom. That's the point. Every bro out there on LinkedIn right now talking about being an alpha in business, you look like an idiot. It's been proven. That picture's been debunked so many times. So many times. Again, I almost went off. Almost. Slow down. Relax. You'll be fine. And here it is. Here's where the pain is. Okay, Avasek says, I gave a talk at a college a few weeks back. They shared my framework designed differently without mentioning me. Yeah. By the way, I've been watching some of your talks that you're posting up there. They're fantastic. Love them. Keep going, man. It's great. And you know what? I get it. And the problem is I take the attitude, like people have taken some of my stuff or my slides, which is dumb because like our content is literally talking about people doing stuff like that. But like people will say that to me with like the Joshy story, Ritz-Carlton. They're like, you know, somebody's telling the story on stage, Scott. And like, by the way, I don't mind that at all. It doesn't mean it's not my story and it doesn't mean they learned it from me. When people say they're telling the same story though, I just say they can. It's not my way of telling it. People are like, well, we don't need another talk. We don't need another book. We don't need another podcast. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We need yours if you want to. If we listen to all that, not only does this come out, but the other 6. We don't do hundreds of episodes of our show. We started our show during the 2nd podcast renaissance. We're now on the 4th. Right? The world still needs your thoughts. Yours. Not an AI version of yours. There we go again. Another example, okay? Here's an example. Let me show you how I shared this. And I'm sharing somebody's tweet on LinkedIn, okay? So this is like a cross-platform, okay? So I'm going to take this, I want to put it on LinkedIn, okay? So sometimes people will just post that and off you go. And that's all we do, okay? We're ready, we're good to go. And my boss's signature block says my working hours and your working hours. You see that right there, right? Blah, blah, blah. But this is not how you do the sharing, okay? Right? I added my comment to it. By the way, I just pointed, like I put my finger on my monitor as if you could see me touching the monitor like you're sitting here. I'm not a professional. I'm unprofessional. Okay. I commented, but also I put in brackets links to the original tweet and comments, alt text below since LinkedIn limits to 120 characters. What that means is when you share a photo, there's alt text. In that alt text, that's for screen readers and somebody who's visually impaired. LinkedIn has a max of that, potentially, so I also have it written out because that's the right thing to do. If you use the alt text function on social media for marketing purposes or ways to get around certain things, instead of its intended use, which is to let screen readers read to somebody visually impaired who cannot potentially see it, if you use it for any other reasons, you're a prick. If you have somebody suggesting that and you find somebody suggesting that somewhere, please send that information to me. And I will inform them publicly or privately, depending on the day, about that tactic. Because it makes me ill that people do that. So that's not all. So there's the alternative text. And I actually took that. I just highlighted the picture, and you can highlight text now, and I posted it in there as well. You'll notice with my hashtags, okay, they're camel case. What camel case means is each word is capitalized. If you do not capitalize, a screen reader, again, somebody visually impaired trying to be on social media, it'll read it as one word, right? It's in one of the books. It's the Susan Boyle. It's a Susan Zainal Gifts album release hashtag that had no capitals. It's in one of the books. Or just look it up. Look up Susan Boyle hashtag. Just Google it right now. Not right now. Watch this, but afterwards. Okay? You want to do that. But also, outside of that, it's also easier for the eye to then separate the words. Now, mind you, I don't know why we're now using them because they don't do anything pretty much. And I don't know anybody who's ever searched using one. But anyway, if you still want to use them, I use them for humor reasons sometimes, like a punchline or a joke, kind of like using footnotes in the books like that. But yeah. And then the very bottom, you'll notice down there, I almost pointed it like literally onto my screen again, but down there, you'll see the link to the original tweet. That's what you want to give credit for. And people say, that's a lot of work. It's not. This was 45 seconds it took to do it this way. Maybe, if less. Okay. And also here, I had to check first. I wanted to check, okay, one, is she on LinkedIn? Did she already post this on LinkedIn? And I also made sure that the original tweet was public. So I wanted to share it that was already on public, that I could share it to. I love Alexa's stuff. Alexa's kind of gotten out a bit of the accessibility things, but she has great guides on this type of stuff. If you ever want to look at Alexa, the still has the guide out as well. Social media accessibility checklist. Just Google that. You can put in, I'll add a link in the comments later, but you can Google it. And it's a great thing to look at. It's stuff that, you don't think about, like a lot of things with disabilities until you see it. And now you see it. If you don't do it, now we're just, willfully ignorant about something. And it's important, really, honestly. Okay. If you're sharing something on LinkedIn and it's an affiliate link, meaning you receive something in return for sharing it, doesn't matter if it's money, product, or a quid pro quo, you need to disclose. I see this happening all the time. Ethics are not a renewable resource. If you are getting any kind of compensation for something, you need to reveal that and not buried in 100 hashtags as well. This type of stuff kills me. The broetry, the one line return, one line return, one line return. Thank you to Karina for coming up with the term broetry. It's a really good article. Again, another link I'll share in the comments, the story behind the strange and bewildering trend that's eating LinkedIn. Brutal and hard. Also, people quoting themselves and sharing it. No fun. But also my favorite thing is this photo of doing it, because I like making fun of people in our industry that do this. Yeah, it's I've never gotten over quoting yourself. I don't be quotable, but don't quote yourself. Just like, you don't have to do a quotes around stuff. This is a joke, but you just tweet something. That's a quote. Post something on LinkedIn. It's literally yours. If I quote you, it's a quote. But putting yourself in quotations with a picture, especially now, it's like the tweet with your name and your face, and then your name and your face is the account that's posting it on Twitter, and then it's LinkedIn, so it's your name and your face on LinkedIn, posting your Twitter account, posting your comment. Stop, please. And also, the other thing is tagging people. By the way, I'm not complaining about this one. It's my man, Justin. Tag myself and a bunch of great people. This is the right way to do it. Okay? So he's talking about being on stage, and he's giving a shout out to the speakers, which is very nice of him. But you have the opposite. Somebody will write a post and they'll say, and whatever they want, whatever their motive is, and at the very end, they'll tag 50 people and say, thoughts? ? When you tag somebody on LinkedIn, a lot of their following will get notified that, hey, Scott's been tagged in this, which is why some people do that. Please don't. I turned off being able to be tagged for years because of this tactic. But then people like Justin couldn't, or friends of mine couldn't do that. By the way, Justin's a friend. I didn't mean to say Justin or a friend. My man, if you're watching this, I apologize greatly. A really great one too, a lot of times, is people will say, hey, can I get some feedback on something on LinkedIn? This is one of my favorite books from the 90s. This is Beware of Those Who Ask for Feedback. They're usually asking for praise is the one. So that's the line. This is all tips in business. But feedback, pretending to ask for feedback to try to pitch something is brutal. Thank you. I got to jump to Jurassic World on big screen with my kids. Thanks for the engagement. If that's you, Jackie, good seeing you on here. And if not, good seeing whoever that is. Yeah, so it's like, don't ask somebody to look at a video when you actually just want them to promote it, right? If you want me to share a video or something that's important to you, just say that. Like, people send me stuff and say, can I get your feedback? And it's a finished video. If you're not going to use the feedback for something, why are you asking for it? Just say, I want you to promote it. Or can you share this? I'll say no, but still. And this, one of my biggest peeves of the LinkedIn. Warm spam. Okay? We call it, it's like LinkedIn unrelated, but like, well, we're connected on LinkedIn so I can sign you up for my newsletter. No, you can't. No. I don't want Atlanta real estate deals that I got last week from somebody on LinkedIn. I'm not in Atlanta. I'm in Toronto. I don't need those things. We call them on LinkedIn, we call it frequently unsolicited commercial contact or friendly unsolicited commercial contact because we're a connection. Let's call it friendly, unsolicited commercial. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's do that. I'm going to get out of here. I'm pretty much done with those parts of the slides anyways. Let's do this, okay? We're going to talk about it. So frequently, let's do an acronym. Friendly, unsolicited communication. All right. So FOOC. Friendly, unsolicited commercial communication. It's when you, on LinkedIn or Facebook or anything else, you're connected to somebody, so therefore you can send or do anything you want. You can put them on a newsletter, you can pitch, you can spam. It's the opposite. Don't FOOC around, okay? No friendly, unsolicited commercial contact, please. By the way, Amy, I just literally had bologna yesterday. I hadn't had bologna in like a year or two, and I just got a package. I'm like, I should bologna it up. And here's the thing. I don't think I've ever had a fried bologna sandwich. And I dig bologna, so I need to try it. I really do. Really. So, anywho, keep on moving. So here's the last kind of part here that I really want to get into. And I originally would talk about this concept called mannequin networking when it was just about scheduling social media. You'd set it and forget it. You'd schedule something to appear and you wouldn't be there when it came out. And Allison and I would always say, what's so important that you have to say it at this specific time, but not important enough for you to be there to say it. And that's the same way that I feel about AI. What is so important that has to be said that you can't say? And if AI can say it for you, like I was at a financial planning conference I spoke at a month ago, and a lot of things there were AI based, AI marketing. AI can market your financial planning. AI can take care of it, do it all, book your appointments, do almost everything for you. AI is that smart. And all I look at it and say is, AI is that good. Why do I need you as a financial planner? Why can't I just say, hey, Scott, let me tell AI to go to your website, look at all your suggestions, everything else, and just invest for me that way. Saves me the cut. I don't understand the race to irrelevance. I don't understand the race to inauthenticity. When the world is rushing to go artificial, go authentic. You don't need the entire world as your market. A lot of you don't even need your entire city or town. I don't. Over the past 30 years of being an entrepreneur and being in business, I've never tried to grab as much as I can. I try to connect and make a living in the places I can. I don't want to scale endlessly. I don't want to try to grow revenue endlessly. I want to connect with really killer people and do some cool stuff. And hopefully my knowledge can help them and theirs can help me. It all went back to, that's why social media in the first place, from rise.com, RYZE.com. But that was pre-LinkedIn days. And that was the point. Really was connecting with each other. That's why LinkedIn connections make me wonder before accepting Yep. And talking about the FOOC, mostly the financial planners in my direct messages. Exactly. Race to irrelevance is bars preach. Josh, just me being told I set a bar has made my day. So, like, there we go. Made my day. I'm always trying to say bars. Really hard to say bars, by the way. It's just so many. Although I've been into some new hardcore stuff. Mike's on here too. He knows. Hardcore's got bars too. Oh my goodness. So many bars in so many different ways. But also, I just did a gig in Memphis. So I had to do my research on Glorilla and stuff too. And let me tell you, bars. Bars, bars, bars. Her and Red. Incredible. Just killer. Killer, killer. All right, so I think that's what I got. So, remember, kids, this is it. It's the word of the day. Fook. Friendly, unsolicited commercial contact. That's what it is. Exactly. I'm just going to go through some of the comments here if I don't see anything or miss anything anyways. Really appreciate you all. Thank you, Dieter and Julie and Ebisek and Dawn and Christina and Ingrid and Karen and Shannon, Jason, Timothy, Jen, Allison, obviously, Michael. Forgot to put this one. This was early on. I saw it. I was meant to put it up. You said this a while ago, and I've always remembered it. The point of social media is to be social. You should be commenting on and sharing other people's posts far more than your own. That's how you make genuine connections. Thank you. And I'm glad that resonated with you. It really is. It's like a 100-to-1 ratio type of thing, right? Give until you can't give anymore, right? And then if you say, well, nobody's ever going back with it, then there's other people. Refine your lens on social. You can. If you hate your feed, that's on you. Unfollow, disconnect, switch it up. The algorithm, the algorithm is not screwing anything up. The one thing a lot of these not great companies do well, because their only concern, as somebody who's been this for decades, their only concern is keeping you there and keeping you interested by resonating with you. Tell the platforms different things resonate with you. You'll get different people. We'll get different things. They are Foo kids. Thank you, Shannon. It's great seeing you again. Good, Don. But here, Don, this is it. This is it, though. But that's how people make each other can feel. This is the secret to everything. This is the secret to relationships. I haven't even shared it. It's not even up here on what you all don't know about Don is I spoke at Don's event. And before I spoke at Don's event last year, he bought me a gift. It's upstairs. I should have brought it down for this, Don. I'm sorry, but it's actually going to go up here. I have a spot for it. He presents me with a gift because I went and saw him at the company before the event. We just had instead of a pre-call, we did a pre-visit. And he gave me not only Barry Sanders rookie cards, football, he knows how much I love the Lions, but he got me the red version of the Judgment Night soundtrack, which is the greatest soundtrack, nay, album in history. How does he know that? Because he heard me talking about that. Don, when I feel seen because of you. And you're the client. Like, that was the opposite of what's supposed to happen. So I wanted to bring that up. I really did. I haven't put it up and I haven't done what I want to do with it yet, but I will. And I really, not only, I'm glad you felt seen, but I needed to give you that shout out for sure. Yeah, and we need the shirt. We need the shirt. Exactly. Christina, the irony today, just got back from a networking breakfast to an inbox of 2 Fook messages connection requests. Exactly. Yeah, and that's it, Karen. If you hate the feed you're on, exactly, you got to switch it up. You do have to switch it up. Very true. One thing I've noticed these days on social media is people follow you, and once you follow back, they unfollow. I don't know where this came from, but I have a 5-1 ratio makes it look like an influencer. Yeah, that's brutal, but also that's as old as time. There's a lot of people in here right now that I've been running around in circles with in social for decades, and they know, right? They know that it's the dump and pump scheme of follow and drop. They're part of a lot of people in here remember Follow Friday, right? The team follow back and all that type of stuff. It's just, it never has, never is, never will be about numbers. Right? It never has and never will be about numbers. Social media is a terrible selling platform because people don't like to be sold to. That's it. That's the big secret. Ingrid, it's so good. Yeah, likewise. Yo! Somebody's got Judgment Night soundtrack. With who? With who? It's Onyx and Biohazard, baby. Oh, man. Such good songs. Helmet and House of Pain. Slayer with Ice-T, Pearl Jam and Cypress Hill, Faith No More and Booyah Tribe, So many. It's the reason I love it's the first one of the first times that metal and rap formed together. Like we had, Aerosmith and Run DMC Walk This Way, and yes, but like this album, it changed my brain. Full track, start to finish, my favorite album of all time, including Onyx. Slam, right? And yeah, follow for follow, right? Boom. Even the post too, it's like, hey, write success in the comments and I will send you it in a private message. When people do that on LinkedIn and say, comment this so I can send it to you, they're just using your comments to amplify it out to everybody else. Sometimes they don't even send you the thing. They don't have to. If they had something, they'd send you somewhere else to go get it. It's commenting. They're using you for the algorithm. Is that wrong? No, I don't. I think if you put it out there clearly, but the problem is you just get engagement farming. I saw somebody I know well who knows better once, like 15 years ago, put on LinkedIn and say chocolate or vanilla ice cream. He's like, it gets engagement. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Oh, how did I also not mention the other one? It's my 2. Walk This Way and Bring the Noise are my 2. Right? That, from Ghost to Go. Oh my God. Stan the Man, the scene with Band, the Bostos. Rock with some pizzazz. It will last. Riot last. Rule the rock stars. You never get accepted as. We got to plead the fifth. We can investigate. Bass. How low can you go? Death Row. It's just such a great, great song. Thank you for bringing that in my mind as well. I kind of find it annoying when people say comment now and I'll send you the link. Just post the link. But that's the point. And exactly, Julie. I know you mentioned this before I started kind of going in there about it, but exactly. They're engagement farming you when you're doing that. Well, yeah, there you go. Sorry, I'm just catching up. Thank you, Sim. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We did. So when I was in a band in high school, I was a lead singer of a metal band, and obviously, and I always say I just fired the band and stayed on stage, but we did mostly 3 bands for the most part. It was Rage Against the Machine, Pantera, and Primus, and we did Rage before Killing in the Name of kind of hit the air. So we did Fistful of Steel at it. We called them coffee houses here. I'm not sure where, but it's just a concert of like high school, and you did bands that play, but their own stuff, not school band. And my brother played it for me the first, and Fistful of Steel came on and Killing the Name of. And then we did Killing the Name of 5 different times during high school. But I had to tell him I was saying funk, F-U-N-K, every time so they wouldn't cut the sound on us. So it was really, really important. All right, y'all. That's an hour. I'm good. Hope you are too. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll keep this up for a bit. And I really appreciate everybody who took their time. Thanks to all who stayed in there for a bit. And thank you even more so for those that could stay the whole time. Really appreciate it. Really nice seeing some of your faces that I haven't seen in a while. I hope to do this again as well. Maybe we'll do it next week, week after. We'll do some other stuff as well. We'll do some talk about presentations, doing some presentations and doing talks and more on LinkedIn. Just remember, just be good to each other, and more importantly, be good to yourself. Because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of anyone else.